I had to take that moment right there because I don't wanna have a crash out, because I am I'm struggling like I never have before with this camera in terms of the review and in terms of the state that we're in right now, and in terms of the people in this vertical that you all are probably watching, that are the top dogs that are capturing all the views, that are getting paid the big bucks, and they are shilling 100%, and they're not telling you the whole story about this camera. The biggest thing that I've found that is preventing me from doing a full review right now is that it overheats. But before we get into all that, take a look at some of this footage. I really do think it does a great job. This thing is basically just a shrunken down Action 5, and it's tiny, portable. You can get some really unique shots, and I think it has a great dynamic range. But overall, I compare it to the Action 5 because it has the same sensor, it has the same 2.8 aperture, and if you can get it to work, well, man, I think this is probably one of the better small action cameras in terms of the way it looks. Now, I get that's all subjective, and I get that I kept saying if you can get it to work. And that's because my experience shooting in 70-degree weather, granted there was a lot of sun there in those shots, well, I was only getting 4K 30 frames per second, and I was able to shoot 4 minutes before I got the overheating warning and it shut down. Then if I tried to shoot again, I would get about a minute each time. And the only way I could get it to kind of kick back into maybe getting some more time than a minute would be to completely shut it down and put it in a cool place. Now, if you understand, 70 degrees is not that hot, and that's about, I believe, 20 degrees Celsius if you're from somewhere else. Now, I was thinking maybe I just got a bad camera, but I've done some research and I did contact DJI, and this seems to be widespread. And in fact, even if you have a perfect camera, if you're shooting in anything like 70-degree weather with sun, the most people are getting out of this thing, and some even in even better conditions where it's not even in sun, the best I've seen is 27 minutes before it completely shuts down and overheats at 4K 30 frames per second. That's not even shooting at high frame rates. That's 4K 30, folks. Now you tell me, did you hear that from any one of these top tier creators? I know I didn't. And I actually look at all these people because they're the titans of this space. They're creators that I look up to. They're extremely talented. But what I've come to find out, especially in the action camera space, is that I would say, 99% of them are sold out. They have no integrity left, and they have no obligation to you all. They fell in love with the money versus falling in love with their subscribers, and for recognizing that those are the people they owe things to, because those are the people who put them in those places. And if any of you all that I won't call you out by name, but you'll know who it is. And if you see it, or you guys want to send this to these creators, just look at anyone who dropped day one. You go ahead and tell me who pointed out the overheating problems. And in a perfect world, folks are reporting 27 minutes at 4K 30. Now, yes, I reported this to DJI. Of course I did. I owe it to you, I owe it to them. And you know what they said? Oh, just don't shoot in those high frame rates. Oh, don't shoot in 10-bit color profile, shoot in 8. Oh, don't shoot in the highest bit rate, shoot in the normal bit rate. And if you're going to shoot in 4K or 4K 60, 4K 120, then you should probably have the camera stationary. That's right, folks. In action camera, they're telling us to be stationary. Now understand, I got this same form response from 2 different sessions from 2 different technicians. And you know what that means to me as someone who runs a company? That is a form official response. We have problems. Don't believe me? Let's take a look at some of these Reddits. Now you can see there's clearly other people that are having this problem. And you can also see above and beyond Reddit, you can go to other reviewers that have spent some time with it that can actually get the camera to work. They've done tests, 4K, maximum 26 minutes for 30 frames per second. Some that are in like 50 degrees, right? So it is somewhat dependent on the environment. But if I'm at 70, you think you're going to be able to go to Hawaii? You think you're going to be able to go to a tropical climate? You think you folks in Florida are going to be on the beach using this? No, you're not. You're not. It gets so hot that if you touch this right here, it's borderline scalding you. That's how bad this is. Now, I will be returning this, but not only because of that, but also because this thing has other problems. And I'll quickly run through those. If you connect a DJI mic to this, which is the only mics that work, you separate these. If you don't have the mic connected, when this is shooting video, you will see it on this screen. If you connect the DJI mic 2 or above, because it only works with those models, and you separate these and you push play, this will be blank. It'll say it cannot display it while you're using the microphone, okay? So that's a problem for me, but apparently they're gonna fix that, they said, via firmware. Now the other issue I found was jitteriness. And you can look at, again, more honest reviewers. You know, the ones that have millions of followers, throw them out. Bros, these are commercials, man. Get that through your head. They will never tell you the truth, ever. Ever. So look at some of these other creators, you will see the jelliness that we're seeing, especially in low light. Look at this footage right here. Jitters out the yin yang, worse than the Action 5, worse than the Action 4. This needs to be sorted out. Now, this would be an example of something that may be able to be corrected with firmware, but I don't think, if you're telling me this thing overheats in Montana, up north, in almost October, I mean, tomorrow's 2 days from now is October, or tomorrow. I don't know how many days are in September. Anyways, so you're telling me that this thing overheats in that type of weather. This is not going to work for anyone. You also have an issue where if you have an SD card, you can't directly record to the SD card, but you can move the footage over with this. All right, that's great. Well, I've tried 4 different SD cards, and yes, okay, along with me upgrading the firmware, I know what SD cards, I know what type to use. I looked at the recommended SD cards. I tried 4 of them. None of them worked. They either flat out didn't work or they moved over max 3 videos from the main storage to the SD card, and then it failed. It would not move over any of the others. I got 3 videos on it, and I waited hours for that to happen. Not a good solution whatsoever. Thank God it's the winter, right? Because next summer you will see, I guarantee you they're going to have to do something here. And if it's anything like the Action 2, what they did with the Action 2 is they sent out a cage that goes around this. I don't know how that would work. Maybe they could make it work. They were able to send out a free cage that became a heat sink. That is the only solution I can see right now. I can't see in any world that firmware is going to correct this issue. And whether you have one that's horrible, where you're only getting 3 minutes in 70-degree weather or 20 degrees Celsius weather, or you have one that's good that you're getting, 27 minutes. I think I misspoke there. I was only getting 4, or you're getting the full 27 out of that. Well, look, bro, that's not going to work. And you guys really do need to hold these people accountable, man. This next group in my class, if you will, I've met so many good creators here. We're not paid. We do this because we still serve you. That's what we do it for, and we still have integrity. And I can lay my head down at night knowing whether you're a friend or family or you're a subscriber, I'm going to give you the honest truth. I will never be compromised. And even if you guys decide to put me in that position where I now have 1 million followers and I'm now taking over because these shill tubers have been pushed out, I will still maintain my integrity and my commitment to you all. And there's a whole bunch of us out here. You need to find them.